Welcome to Cardano Over Coffee. Please remember to join us live Monday through Friday on Twitter Spaces at 1:30 p.m. UTC, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube and download our podcast on all major podcast platforms. Just search Cardano Over Coffee. Today's guest is David from Beanchain, a real-world coffee shop in Mesa, Arizona, who will focus on bringing blockchain by education and worker co-op. They're bringing blockchain to the real world. Don't forget, we'll be in Denver, Colorado, August 24th through 26th at Rare Evo. Get your tickets at rareevo.io. Use discount code COC10 for 10% off. Don't forget to try the Cardano Over Coffee found on our link tree. And thanks for listening. Let's jump right in and talk to Dave.
That's awesome. And I'm also seeing on your profile that you're doing an investment round. How much are you raising? And, what's the idea behind that? Where are those funds going to be going?
Those funds are for the coffee shop. That's a legitimate investment campaign. We're filed with the SEC. We're doing it through a company that does crowdsourced investment campaigns called Mainvest. That's an investment campaign to get a little bit extra money to finish the build for the coffee shop and make sure that we have enough money to survive our first couple of years. And it's not a donation. There's no kind of ethereal way that people will get value back from that. This is like direct return on investment where people will get their money back and more through our revenue. We're going to be doing a revenue share on a quarterly basis and paying all of our investors back, which the better we do, the better return on investment people will get. And we think we're going to do pretty well.
That's awesome. Could you tell us a little bit about your team? It sounds like you definitely have, your mindset on, a fair, workplace, living wage. So I'm curious, who you attracted or how many people you have on the squad down there in Mesa.
Yeah. So, it's me and my wife is really the core of this. Right now Shannon's actually training a new worker that we hired over here, but a lot of the people that we hired are all just from this local area. And that's kind of the goal with each of these Beanchain coffee shops is we want them to be local cooperatives. So we're going to be hiring people that need good jobs in those areas. Right now we have Angie, who is frankly one of our best and most dedicated workers. She's awesome. She just kind of found us at the cart and was like, hey, I'd like a job. So got her on and taught her how to pull some shots of espresso, and she's been amazing. And we have Kevin, who's training right now, and Jace, who was working with us yesterday, and hopefully we'll get 2 to 3 more people to help us kind of make up the skeleton crew of the coffee shop. Over the last couple of years, between the Blockchain Learning Center and the Beanchain, we've worked with a ton of people from the Cardano space. And a ton of different organizations from the Cardano space to kind of build out some of these ideas and form the foundation of what the Beanchain is conceptually. And we've done a lot of work on the Blockchain Learning Center with all sorts of groups. But
can you explain to the people what the Blockchain Learning Center is, the other thing that you've created, so that people understand when you're mentioning it?
Absolutely, yeah. So for the Blockchain Learning Center, for anyone who hasn't seen it already, is we basically just take concepts from blockchain and our greater blockchain world and try to turn those into infographics, some educational videos. We created a platform where people can create courses for free. It's just about sharing information freely. And making sure that we can kind of set a good foundational knowledge for what blockchain is, so that we can start talking about some of the uses for blockchain that we want to see within this coffee shop and within our world that can be positive. The goal is to create is to make it easier for all of us to talk to everyone else about blockchain and tell them why this matters to us, why we see such potential and goodness in this.
I'll tell you what, you're combining some of my favorite things: education, coffee, blockchain. Like I might have to move to Arizona, like, or start my own, get a franchise under Beanchain, like, start one up here.
Like, yeah, you totally should. And the way that we want to do the franchise, you guys can still hear me, right?
Yep.
Right. So the way that we want to do the franchising is not to be franchises. Actually, we want to co-found Beanchains with people. The idea here is that every Beanchain will be a local worker-directed organization. So it will be directed by the workers at that location. So having a standard franchise model where the orders come from on high and it's kind of an authoritarian regime doesn't really work for us. So what we'll have is more autonomous Beanchains that kind of make their own rules, broadly speaking. But they agree to abide by some rules of the network of Beanchains, right? You know, you're going to be a Beanchain and you'll want to have like these menu items and things like that. But it's not going to be too onerous. So we're going to let each of the different Beanchains have their own characters and be controlled by the founders and the workers at those locations. And then they can, you know, be a part of the network of greater Beanchains and benefit from the shared services that we'll have across that network and the guidance and the best practices.
So other than educating on blockchain, how else are you planning on implementing blockchain into this coffee shop and in the Beanchain?
Well, there's a lot of different ways that I think we can. We were talking to the folks at ADAO and Summon about using some of their tools, multi-signature wallets, and we're gonna be doing a lot of things that they could help us with voting. We're gonna have a system of weighted voting where the founders get a little bit more of a vote than the workers to kind of respect the investment and the risk put in by them. We're hoping this can be a model that can be attractive to other business owners that currently exist, and we're trying to bridge that gap for America. Don't see a lot of cooperatives here. But we need to make sure that the model's attractive and that the tooling's easy enough to use that any business owner in America would want to switch over to it. So we're going to try to responsibly find the ways that we can implement tools from the blockchain to make it easier to operate this system and spin up a similar system for a different company. Yeah. To answer your question more directly, probably smart contracts, voting, multi-signature wallets to like empower small teams of people trying to do things that they've proposed and that were like affirmatively voted for, and any other responsible uses that we can find.
Now, my next question is going to be a really hard one, and I'm sorry to put you on the spot like this, but I have to. How do I get Cardano over coffee into your coffee shop?
Oh, super easy. You could like send it to us through the mail. We have 5,500 square feet in this coffee shop. That's pretty big for a coffee shop. Not half, but like 2,000 feet of it's going to be a shared workspace with offices and kind of a general shared workspace area and then a conference room. But we're going to have an area in the shop where we'll have shelving, and we want to try to help local artisans and other businesses that we want to thrive to like sell their goods here too. So if you guys want to sell some Cardano over coffee in the shop, we would love to throw that on the shelves and like work out a sweet deal.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk on that. I'm definitely interested for sure.
Yeah, we'd also we're going to be trying to teach people about blockchain. So anybody who has like workshops that they think would fit well in our conference room, definitely reach out and talk to us because we'd love to put on some good educational content. We're going to try to have at least a couple classes or workshops a day just for free for the surrounding community.
That's really awesome too that you're going to do like little classrooms.
It's always been my dream to be a teacher. I wanted to teach kids programming, and I'll do that one day when I retire. But for the moment, we gotta do something for workers here because workers are getting just destroyed in America.
Well, since I'm like don't know shit about programming, you could teach me, and I'd be like teaching a kid.
Yeah, you could come to one of our. I'm going to do a front end programming course every week here.
I could like test dummy.
So
trying to whip together a post right now to throw all the links and stuff into. Is there an @ for Cardano over coffee?
Yeah, it's at cock, COC_space.
Right. Of course it is.
It's cock space, man.
So one thing that you mentioned kind of in your intro here is that, you've worked with a few groups in Cardano to, get started. I'm curious if you can kind of go into more detail there and, let us know what groups maybe you've worked with, or what dev teams or anything of the like that has caught your attention.
Well, there's some groups with really big hearts, like Lido Nation, yourself, ADAO.
Don't blow Lido's head up, Jesus Christ.
And then Cardano for climate and Sustainable ADA. Cole is an amazing guy. I don't know if many of you have met him, but he runs Sustainable ADA, and that guy's heart is there. I kind of question whether some people are here for the money or because they care, but there's no question with him. In fact, we're probably going to try to pass the Blockchain Learning Center off to Cole and a few people that Sustainable ADA are working with, and try to get a collective of really well-intentioned people running that, because I don't have the time anymore since I'm now running a coffee shop. I can tell you, this is more work than I've ever done in my entire life, and it feels good. I wake up motivated every morning, but wow, starting a business is hard. But yeah, that's
not easy.
And Project Catalyst was helpful. They gave the Blockchain Learning Center $33,000, so that is not to be understated. Definitely helpful. I see Illusion in here. Illusion is pretty dope. Always sharing our stuff, and I kind of find him in the best groups.
So an important question I have here is about your profile picture. There's maybe another member of your team that might be getting royalties. Is there a tiny dog?
Yeah.
Tiny dog
that is our little Momo. We have 2 dogs now. Actually, got another little pup since that one. So Momo's he's a mini poodle, and he's always got an upset stomach. In fact, he does today as well. But we have another dog named Appa, and he is a Maltese. And for those of you that are Avatar: The Last Airbender fans, yes, we did name them after Momo and Appa from the show. Freeloaders.
That's awesome. Blockjock, you got a question?
Blockjock.
What's going on, guys? So, David, I absolutely love it, and I have a question for you. Why did you choose Mainvest? And I imagine you did quite a bit of research as to who you were going to use to facilitate the funding round. But why Mainvest?
That was because we wanted to appeal to as many investors as we possibly could. And since this is primarily a coffee shop and a shared workspace, and we're going to be teaching about blockchain and its responsible use as well, but we're going to be teaching about a wide variety of topics from, front-end web development to AI, to like how to knit. It's going to be probably more in the mainstream world than the blockchain one. And though I know we all are totally on board, it's kind of hard to get some traditional investors on board when you're doing it in cryptocurrency. And also any family members of mine, if I had any chance of convincing them to invest, it would probably have to not be in cryptocurrency. So that was one reason that we went with the fiat route there. But also, the founder of Mainvest reached out to us when we were, struggling to get loans from banks, and we were trying to figure out a new way that we could fundraise. And, we weren't getting much traction with alternative routes. They reached out to us and really expressed like how they feel like their mission matches with ours. Mainvest, the guy who runs it, really seems like he cares about workers' rights and about this kind of community-centric approach to making change, where we're starting on a small level and building up. So it seemed like they were in the same place that we were.
And so the next question I have, it's not to take away from anything that you're doing or, suggest it some way that, it's not going to make it. But most businesses fail within the first year. I think about 80 or 90% of them. And a lot of it has to do with, the inability to be able to understand, the financial side of things and cash flow and, all these things that come along in the beginning, right? My concern is that, and it has nothing to do with you, if 5,000 square feet is quite a bit of space and you're paying by the square foot, for, the lease. And so how long is the lease, one? And how much runway do you have with this in order to get this particular coffee shop slash workspace up and running? And is there going to be something else other than selling coffee that will help to generate revenue going forward?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you're right. It's a big space. And we got that originally because we wanted to have this be half a blockchain learning center and half the coffee shop. But we realized that wouldn't generate enough money. We couldn't sell the courses and the educational material well enough. But through our experience with Blockchain Learning Center, we decided, that would have to be kind of a side note in there, and we need to use that space to generate revenue. So that is why it's a shared workspace now. We have 3 offices in the coffee shop that we're renting for $1,000 a month. We have a shared workspace with 15 seats that we'll be charging $200 a month for membership to, with complimentary office supplies, printing, and great dedicated Wi-Fi for all of them. And we're going to try our best to find whatever other perks we can throw in there to make the shared workspace attractive. We also have the conference room, which we're renting for $15 per head per hour. And we're offering time in the conference room to people who want to teach to our community, do workshops and classes and things like that, stuff that'll really help people out. And then we're also going to be doing some other fun things. We're going to have a guest star baker program where we're going to invite people from the local community to come bake in our kitchen and sell their baked goods in the shop. We're trying to partner with groups like Cardano over Coffee to sell their goods in the shop and maybe recapture some profit from that. And we're going to be making sandwiches, overnight oats, breakfast bites. We're distributing little QR codes.
I'm sorry, maybe I'm an idiot, and I apologize if I don't know this and everybody thinks I'm an idiot, but what's overnight oats?
Oh, you just throw some oats in like a mason jar with some, I don't know, bird food and stuff, and then you put some milk in there. And
okay, I get what you're saying now. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, it's delicious. My wife makes them all the time.
It's really good, actually, Brian. And you just set it overnight and wake up in the morning, you're good to go. And you don't cook it. Which is the other really actually good thing about the process, so
yeah, I've seen it. I never knew what it was called, and I've never had it. So
yeah. Well, Dave, I actually jumped onto Main Invest, made an account, and shot you over $100. Absolutely love it. I love, like what Brian said. You're combining all the things that I love about blockchain, and the reason that I came over here. And sometimes I tend to forget that a little bit because I'm constantly investing and trading and doing all these things, and the number go up thing is predominant in my mind, and I forget sometimes, or I let go of the most important thing, which is what you're doing, right? And so it's important that other people in here that are hearing this and listening to David maybe jump over there, look into it a little bit, and shoot him $50. I mean, or $20 or $10. It really doesn't matter.
But the minimum is 100. But yes.
100? Okay, so $100 or more is okay, got it. Sorry, if you're shy on it, man, hit me up. Maybe we'll go in at 50-50 and we'll do it that way to get you in there and be able to support it. So let me know.
Heck yeah! Thank you so much for that amazing endorsement. Yeah, there's like all those things that we're trying to do to make sure that we make this a success, and we're also, doing our best with marketing. We're giving all of our surrounding business neighbors QR codes so they can order with us. And there's a big tower across the street. There's apartments going up. Like, this area is exploding right now. Yes, someone had a question. Hero Pool.
I don't have a question, and I'm sorry, Dave. We have a private chat for Cardano over Coffee for all the co-hosts, and we just figured out what Block Jock's radio personality is for the show. It is the endorser.
That's an important personality to have.
That's hilarious.
Everyone's
You
just
guys are,
take
you
like the
guys are
first
hilarious.
step into something, but if someone else goes first, then they're like, all right, I can see it.
Listen, I've seen Blockjock endorse some really, really dumb shit in the past. I love you, Blockjock. However, endorsing this, right? Blockchain, you're bringing it into a real world situation. My mind, like right now, my mind's just kind of racing with how I can see this being successful. So I really hope we're coming to the kind of the end of your time here, but I would really hope that you come back here sometime soon, maybe after you get the shop open, give us an update. I'm going to reach out to you because I think we're going to do some business here on the side. And anything else that we kind of missed or didn't get that you would want to cover, anything coming up you want people to know about, please send me all the links. I'll shoot you my email also for the YouTube video, like where people can go to look to donate and all that stuff. So I'll send you my email here momentarily.
Invest, by the way, not donate. But
yeah, sorry.
As a closing statement on this, I just want to say this is the first step, guys. This coffee shop is designed to be the first step. Our grander plan is the Cooperate Network, and that's like maybe 10 years down the road. But we want to get a bunch of worker-directed businesses, cooperatives, DAOs, and other businesses that care about people together and provide shared services across the network and allow us to compete with companies the size of Amazon by having a robust, loose network of companies with as members of this Cooperate network. We see that as the tool that we can use. We're much stronger when we network together. So we're going to create these bean chains and find other like-minded businesses and start creating that.
Absolutely.
So quick question here from the Peanut Gallery at Epoch's house.
I don't know what's your favorite coffee?
Did you catch that? What's your favorite coffee?
Ooh, I like an Americano with oat milk. I'm really simple. I like the taste of coffee.
So we've had this debate frequently. Oat milk apparently has a lot of variety in quality. So what oat milk are you putting into your coffee?
I think ours is called like Chobani or something like that. But it's pretty good. It's nice and thick.
Nice, yeah.
Chobani's a good one.
Thick. Yeah, I've had some watery oat milks that don't really froth enough for my liking. So good to hear.
So I got away from almond milk.
Almond milk is a disaster. I tried. It's water. I can't.
It does not froth. Coconut milk or oat milk is the only ones I go with. Coconut milk's my favorite.
Shout out to hemp milk, also very good.
Oh yeah, that's right. I've had hemp milk and I was blown away by that.
I haven't, and I have no idea that I could even get that around me, but I would love to try it.
Yeah, no coffee shop I have in Oceanside here offers it at all. I haven't even seen it on the menu, so that's awesome.
Hero, you might have to take a journey to Philly to pick some up.
They have it in Philly. I want to make a trip down there to go down to the brewery. So at some point I'd like to go to Philly. I mean, it's not that far.
So we're in the final few minutes here of the first guest segment. So David, anything that you want to kind of close out with? Any message or things to leave our audience with here?
Just kind of the core of what we're doing here is trying to lead with our hearts and care about people and seek to understand the pain that other people are going through so that we can find some ways to fix it. So just try to keep leading with your hearts, guys, and not think about the money as much. Think about the people a little bit more.
Thanks for listening to Cardano Over Coffee. We'd like to thank our guest, David from Beanchain. We look forward to having a cup of coffee together sometime. And we hope to see you all at Rare Evo for a cup of coffee August 24th and 26th at Denver, Colorado. Tickets are on sale now at rareevo.io. Use coupon code COC10 for 10% off.